Biden's $2 trillion infrastructure plan to be funded by corporate tax hike proposal. White House claims once in a century capital investment will create millions of good paying jobs. President Biden on Wednesday will detail his proposal to revamp the nation's infrastructure alongside a revenue-raising plan that aims to ensure the nation's largest corporations are paying their fair share in taxes. Dubbed the American Jobs Plan, the White House said the once-in-a-century capital investment in U.S. infrastructure will create millions of good-paying jobs and position America to outcompete China by spending about 1% of GDP per year over the course of 8 years. Overall, the plan is to spend $2 trillion over the course of the coming decade. Among the key tenets of the plan are modernizing 20,000 miles of highway, repairing 10,000 small bridges and 10 economically significant bridges, eliminating all lead pipes in drinking water systems, expanding access to high-speed broadband, modernizing schools and upgrading veterans hospitals. The plan also aims to create better paying jobs for care workers and allocate $100 billion to workspace development programs targeted at underserved groups and students. Overall, the administration intends to spend around $650 billion on revamping bridges and roads, $300 billion on housing infrastructure, $300 billion on reviving U.S. manufacturing, $400 billion on care for elderly and disabled, $400 billion on clean energy credits, as well as unspecified amount on broadband, water system and other measures. In order to pay for this legislation, Biden also proposed that he has called the Made in America tax plans, which would raise the corporate tax rate to 28% from 21%. It would also increase the minimum tax on multinational corporations to 21% and calculate it on a country-by-country basis. So it fits profit in tax havens alongside several other efforts to eliminate perceived loopholes in the corporate tax code. Those changes, the White House said, will raise $2 trillion over 15 years, paying off the initial investment in the infrastructure plan and reducing deficit thereafter. On Tuesday night, the Business Roundtable said it would oppose any effort to raise the corporate tax rate to fund the legislation, though it supports the overall idea of investing in the nation's infrastructure. Policymakers should avoid creating new barriers to job creation and economic growth, particularly during the recovery. Business Roundtable Presidents and CEO Joshua Bolten said in the statement, the White House has indicated on several occasions that the president is open to discussing revenue raising the method with lawmakers from both parties. Administration officials have dismissed concern that raising the corporate tax rate would be a drag on economic growth. In mid-April, the White House is expected to unveil the second part of its recovery agenda, which will focus on cost of healthcare, childcare, and education.